Namaste, everybody. I'm Hasti Masti Hansi. Welcome to Hansi from Home. And today's talk is going to be from season one, which is on books. So, when you do start picking up books or start reading again, it can be hit and miss. You may find you've picked up a book and it really just doesn't connect with you. You can't finish it. Well, that's fine. You don't have to read it end to end. Pick up another one, or the language is too complex, that sort of thing. So, the book that I want to talk about this time, I came across it just really by Googling, the most popular books on self development, and it pops up quite often. And this one is called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and it's written by Robin Sharma. Now, one of the reasons I like this book is whilst it begins as a story, there is just so much actual practical advice on actually how do you go about creating habits, what one should do day to day, the changes you can make to your life here, on earth, as opposed to some of the other spiritual books which talk about you are the way you are potentially because of what you might have done in a previous life. No, this one is really more about the here and now and what you can do yourself to be the person that you want to be, and also not get what you want necessarily materialistically, but a way of getting sort of mental peace of mind and contentment on an ongoing basis, and how you go about doing that. And even though the title has got the word monk in there, it's really not about becoming a monk at all. But it does start off where the main character does literally have everything from the outside world. It looks like he's got everything. He's got a high flying job. He's got lots of money. He's got his red Ferrari. He goes out to all the top restaurants, etc., etc. And then one day he has a heart attack. And this incident really takes him on a totally different journey altogether. He goes to India for a number of years, discovers lots and lots of different things. And the main learning from this book really starts then when he comes back and he talks to his original friend that he used to work with. And the whole book then is a fable basically meaning that it's a conversation between these two people. And it's quite funnily, it kind of reminded me of the Bhagavad Gita, when the book is Arjun talking to Krishna Bhagwan, and it's like a two-way conversation, and within the conversations there's lots of lessons to be learned. So this story is very much similarly set, but it's quite nice, I would say, for the next generation, because it is obviously in English, and it does talk, you're not having to search for the philosophy behind the teachings. It literally spells it out for you. And also in this book, the two characters, so if you like the pupil and the teacher, the pupil really is playing devil's advocate, and he really does come up with some specific questions and some cheeky questions to the teacher, who is trying to teach him some long life lessons. So again, you can resonate with it when you're reading a book, and often you think, well, what? So you think I should just do this every day? So you think I should have no aspirations? So you think I should not, have any goals and be happy? No, that it asks a lot of the character asks a lot of questions that you might ask yourself in life when you're trying to work out your purpose. So that's one of the reasons I connected with it. So what does it contain in terms of best practices, good habits, how to even create a habit? So it does sort of break it down for you. How to stop negative thoughts in your mind when you get them, from the moment you get them. What should your mind thought be, or the process be, to convert it into a positive thought? And some of the specifics it talks about, and it might seem obvious to some people, maybe the older generation, but it actually goes back to basics of waking up early in the morning at a set time, exercising, believe it or not, a vegetarian diet, the mindset once again, and how to maintain a mindset of a positive mindset. But it's very real. So it also talks about the modern day and the way we can get engrossed in negative mindsets and thoughts. And what do you do when you have one of those, and how do you convert that to a positive one? How can you be more aware when you're having one of those thoughts, and your actions on the back of those thoughts, and how to then go about reflecting and changing it on a day-to-day basis. So that's why this particular book I found was good. um, and it's nothing at all, as I mentioned at the beginning, about becoming a monk at all, as the title suggests. But it's how to incorporate all the different learnings into your everyday life. Now, I liked it so much on a practical level that I got the CD, and I've got it in my car. I know it might sound quite crazy, but when you read a fantastic book with such a lot of things that you've learned from it, when you go on to another book, you can quite easily forget, and hence why when people go to listen to, whether it's kathas or whether it's going to church or whether it's listening to sermons, the reason we go again and again is we can't possibly remember everything that we've heard on a first sitting. So what I've done is I've actually got this CD of the monk who sold his Ferrari playing in my car, and I've found it's really good because it's kind of reinforces the reading that I did. And if I haven't listened to it for a week and then I'm driving my car and another little part of it comes along, I'm thinking, oh yes, yes. And it just helps in cementing what you've learned and actually put it into practice. Because I've got to say to you, I'm not there yet, as I said in my introduction. There's takes a long time for anybody to change things that you've been doing all your life, and to change the thought patterns that you've had all your life, and all your behaviors and your habits that you're doing day to day. You're with your current friends, families, colleagues, and society, and a lot of the times these influences around us are kind of pushing us to being a certain way. So you're going to be challenged all the time. I'm challenged every day and end up going back to my, I would say, old ways, or perhaps going back to ways that I don't want to. And this book for me, and listening to it, is really a reminder to me. It's a reminder to me about going home and reflecting and changing it the next time and the next time. And until you've done things, as they say in many books, you need to do something 21 times consecutively for it to become a habit. Probably even more for some people. So, I would do something and I've done it consecutively for 4 or 5 times, and then I've not been successful in doing it after that. So it's about starting again and trying again, and it then becomes more permanent. And on those sorts of, on that note, one of the things I was just pulled out, like an extract from this book, where the author talks about the thoughts, the mind thoughts. And really what he's saying is everything starts with a thought. Absolutely everything, and who you are starts with a thought, whether it's a positive or a negative one. And that thought will create a feeling or emotion. Again, it could be a happy emotion or a angry one or a frustrating one. But whatever that is, that will lead to you doing something. Yeah, you're going to have an action on the back of that feeling or emotion. And if you keep repeating that thought, an action, whether it be a positive or a negative one, it will become a habit. Now, we'd hope that it's a positive one, so then that will become a positive habit. It will then become a behavior, a natural behavior in your character, and that is what makes your character and your personality at the end of the day. So what I would sort of say to end this talk is, if you're becoming more and more aware of yourself, and you're asking questions, and you're questioning or even deciding that you don't like a certain aspect of your character, or your personality, then there is a way of changing it. What you need to do is go back right to the roots, and it is actually your first thought. It's about changing that first thought. So you almost have to work it backwards. If you don't like what you said or done, or the person that you are, you need to work backwards to see where it's all stemming from. And sometimes these thoughts, as I've mentioned time and time again, you won't be aware of why they are like that, but it could be well, it probably is your upbringing and everything that you've seen to this day, every single thing that you've experienced from the people around you, be it your family from a younger age, be it your colleagues, your friend circle, even your children now. So everything's molded you to being the person you are. And if you love the person you are, then that's absolutely fantastic. But you know, if there's aspects of you that you want to change, then I think this book is a great way, a great start of doing it. So that's it for today's talk. As always, please do comment and tell me what you think about the contents of today's talk. Please put your books that you've read on the same subject of personal development that you will recommend to other people, because I've only read half a dozen, and it'd be great to see what everyone else is reading as well. So until next time from Hansi, it's Nacho Gao Ane Hastaraho from the inside and out.